A teen is rejected and laughed at before prom. Then he sees 13 girls lined up in the hallway. High school can be a hazardous place. It's hard enough for teens to deal with the demanding workload and keep good grades, especially if they participate in sports, student council, or any other time-consuming extracurricular activities. It's even more difficult to cope with today's extra pressures, such as bullying. Finding your place in society, finding a solid group of friends, or asking someone out for your very first date. It feels like everything will turn out properly if you can just ask in the perfect way and you rehearse your speech hundreds of times in your head. But your hands keep sweating and there's a lump in your throat that threatens to choke you before you can say a single word. How to get past the nerves and get to the invitation? All you can do is try to talk yourself down. You've probably told yourself at some point the absolute worst thing that could happen would be for them to say no, right? But sadly, that's far from the worst outcome. A sophomore from Gray, Louisiana named Dakota Nelton learned this the hard way when he invited a classmate from H.L. Bourgeois High School to attend the homecoming dance with him in October of 2018, which marked the start of National Bullying Awareness Month. Given what happened to him, it's clear that he'd have preferred a straight-up no as his answer. He had marshaled his nerves and gotten up the courage to ask the girl to be his first ever date. It would be a very big moment for him and he had planned out his strategy carefully. He even prepared a handmade sign inviting her to the fall dance and asked her in the school hallway while their classmates milled around and encircled them. Unfortunately, that meant that when his friend flatly turned him down, what seemed like the entire school witnessed it. Dozens of onlookers began to chuckle at Dakota's predicament, and some even laughed in his face before trampling the sign he'd so painstakingly made. Though Dakota had originally been frozen by embarrassment, stuck inside the circle of students facing the girl who'd rejected him and trying to find a way out. It was the students walking on and ruining his poster that galvanized him into action. Understandably, Dakota was devastated. It would have been difficult enough to handle his humiliation privately and return to school to face the crowd, not to mention the girl who had rejected. But things were about to get worse. Someone who was in the hall that day posted a video of the invitation and rejection. The embarrassing clip shows Dakota smile freezing, then his whole body sagging as his hopes are crushed and the sign tumbles from his hand to be trampled on the hallway floor. And like any other mortifying moment, it quickly went viral on Facebook, which meant that Dakota had to relive his humiliating experience over and over again as it circulated among his schoolmates and on social media over the weekend. But little did he know. Plenty of his fellow students who had seen the video were not laughing at him, far from it. Alyssa Buckley, along with 12 other friends, were concerned by how Dakota had been treated, especially as their school values, bravery, caring, and happiness. They decided to do something to turn the young man's failed invitation into a major win. The girls, showing a maturity far beyond many teenagers, resolved to ask Dakota to the dance, and they ensured that their invitation would be one to remember the next Monday. The group, which included a few cheerleaders, traditionally considered the most popular girls in school, greeted him in the same hallway where his rejection had taken place. Each of them held up a handmade sign and each one asked Dakota to attend the homecoming dance with him. Alyssa later explained their reasons. They wanted to show Dakota that he was loved and that he was worthy and that he deserved to attend homecoming with someone special. She said the girls planned to be sure that he had a great time and would keep him on the dance floor dancing with them all night. Dakota was awestruck by their actions and thrilled by their kindness. Not to mention all the attention he was receiving from some of the most popular girls at school. He said their good deed made him feel popular as well. And just like that, the young man who'd been rejected by a friend that he'd come to care for would indeed be having his first date at the homecoming dance that fall. But instead he'd be having it with 13 lovely girls. Dakota's bravery had paid off and then some, and with their sweet gesture, the group of 13 girls went a long way to healing his bruised and battered heart. Thank you for watching this heartwarming story. Please tap one of the 2 videos on your screen for another amazing story.